Hi everyone. I'm really sorry it's taken me this long to release part 2. However, I was tied up with some personal commitments, and now that I've taken care of it, I'll be churning out new videos as soon as possible. Now, before I start the video, you might have hopefully noticed the difference in audio quality. After seeing so many comments about the audio setup, someone, who wants to stay anonymous, gifted me a microphone. So please, let me know in the comment section below what you think about the new setup. In today's video, we continue looking at another internal module of Templator, the file module. Till now, we've covered the date module in the previous video. If you haven't already seen it, I suggest you go through that video first. You can do that by clicking the eye icon on the top right. In the next video, we will cover the front matter, system and web modules. And in the video after that, we'll finally cover user functions, which is the most exciting part of this plugin. It truly allows you to extend Obsidian functionality in unique ways. As you remember from the previous video, the way you start a templator command is by opening an angle bracket and then a percentage sign. Then you put in the command and end it with the percentage sign followed by the angle bracket. Let's start by first seeing the syntax for the file module. We will add the command tp.file. All the internal functions come after this. Let's explore all the internal functions that are associated with this. First function is content. This gets all the content that is currently present in the node. So the way we write this will be tp.file.content and that's it. Let me just demo this for you. What we'll do is we'll go to templates, we'll create a new node, we'll call the new node content example, and we'll just add in the exact same syntax that we had put, which is tp.file.content, and we go back to, let's just go to file 1, no, let's go to books. It says not blank and books. Now to insert it, all you have to do is you have to click the templator icon, which is this, and say, as you can see, I have quite a few templator options. So we'll click the content example and you can see exactly it puts in this. Now, if I was to do it in another file, let's say this to do test one. Again, we come here and let me click on templator again and content example. There, exact same. It copies it as is. Let's go back to templator. So let me also get this up. So then sync. Okay, we move on to the next one now. Next, we come to create new, which is written as create_new. As the name suggests, this creates a new file using a specified template or with a specified content. There are multiple arguments you can input inside brackets to make it work. Don't worry, we'll go over each of them. First is template, where you can specify either the template you intend to use or the content inside quotes. Then comes file name, which allows you to specify the file name of the new file. By default, it is untitled. Then comes open_new. It specifies whether you want to open the newly created file in a new window. Be careful though, the way this plugin works, if you use this option, it will execute the command to the new file and not the previous one. And finally, folder, which allows you to specify the folder to put the new file in. It defaults to Obsidian's default location. So let's have a look at this. So we'll do tp.file.create_new, bracket open, inside quotes, we'll put demo. Demo is the template that we are adding, comma, in quotes, we'll put test. Test is the name of the file, comma, true, because we want it to open in a new window. Close the bracket and write .base name. So now let's just go back to templator file and let's just execute this and see how it comes out. I'll just press enter, back tab, and now we'll just execute it. So we go click templator icon and select templator template, and as you can see, name of the file is test as we had put, and demo is the content that we had put inside. After this is the creation_date function. This essentially retrieves the date the node was created. In the brackets, you can actually specify the format of the output you want. Let's see how that works. typing tp.file.creation_date with brackets retrieves the file's creation date. However, as you can see, the format is year, month, date, followed by hours and minutes. What if you wanted to show it in the date format we want? It's simple. We'll just add the format in the brackets. Now in brackets, we'll put quotes and we'll do MMMM space DO, comma YYYY, and that's the format that I want, and we'll just close it. And as you can see, it works perfectly. Next comes cursor. This basically focuses the cursor on this location after the template has loaded. Within the brackets, you can also specify the order number you need so you can toggle between them by pressing the configured hotkey, which in my case on a Mac is Option plus Tab key. Let's look at how to set this up with an example of how I use it. So let me put sleep. Now again, tp.file.cursor 1, then I put quality, tp.file.cursor 2, deep, tp.file.cursor 3, asleep, tp.file.cursor 4, and finally awake, tp.file.cursor 5. Now as you must have guessed, this is my sleep tracker. I generally track how many hours I've slept, how much of it was quality sleep, how much of it was deep sleep, what time did I fall off to sleep, and what time did I wake up. I generally go through it in a sequential order. So first we'll start off here. We'll write that. Now I'll press Option Tab, Option Tab, Option Tab, Option Tab. That's how simple it is. Now after that is cursor_append, which will add some text after the active cursor in the file. You specify the content in brackets. So we put tp.file.cursor_append. In brackets, we'll do text added before cursor. Let's go back to the templater file. Now, right where it says content after cursor over here, I'll place the file. I'll click templater and we'll select cursor example. And as you can see, text added before cursor is what we had put, and it's showing exactly as we had put it. Next comes the exists function, which essentially allows you to search if a file exists or not, and returns it in true or false. We'll again go back to templates. I'll right click, create a new note. We'll type exists example. Now the way you do this is by typing tp.file.exists and in brackets putting the file that you want to search for. In this case it's books, and remember in quotation marks. So now we come back to templater, and let me just firstly show you books. As you can see, books is existing already. So let's try that. I'll click the templater icon and I'll type templater example. And as you can see, it will immediately put true because it exists. What if we were to change this? What if we were to make it say booker? Let's see how that works. So we go back to templater and over here where it says true, I'll just erase that. We'll click templater again, exist example, and it's false because booker doesn't exist. Next comes the folder function. Folder function essentially allows you to retrieve the folder name. If you want the relative path, you can put true in brackets and get the relative path. What I mean by that, I'll just show it to you. We go back to the template folder, create a new note. We'll call the new note folder example. The first example that we'll put is file folder, and that's very simple, tp.file.folder. And the second is with relative path to just show you what the difference is between the two. So it is tp.file.folder, and in brackets we'll just put true for the relative path. Now let's create a demo folder, and in the demo folder we'll create a new note. We'll call the new note test. Now let me just pull up the templater command and I'll select folder example, and as you can see, demo is the name of the folder and it's showing here, and relative path is also the same. So what's the difference, you might ask? Well, let me just show it to you. But first, let me show you over here. If you put it in the root vault, you'll get nothing. So again, we'll put the folder example. There's no folder, and the relative file path is just the root vault. So in the demo folder, let's create another folder. We'll call it demo2, and in that we'll just create a new file. We'll call it folder. Again, I click the template icon. I click folder example, and now as you can see, it'll make things more easier. So this is under the demo folder, and in relative path, you can see demo2 and before that demo as well. So that's folder. Next is the include function. Include allows you to include content from another file. You can also choose to just include a section or block from the content. Let me show you how to do that. Let's check out one of these files. So Jane Appleseed, no, can't get anything from there. Okay, let's use Markdown and let's go for footnotes. So we'll use footnotes, and I want to include footnotes in the template file. So to do this, I'll just create a new note, and we'll call the new note include example, and we'll put in tp.file.include, and in brackets, Markdown is the name of the file and footnotes is the heading. Now let's go back to templater, and let me just click on the icon, and that's weird. Let me search for include. Okay, it's basically saved in the demo folder. Let me just put that back into the templates folder, and now let's run the command, and as you can see, include example is there. So as soon as I put that, it puts the footnote section inside this. Now let me just erase that, and let's move to the next function, which is last modified date. As you probably guessed, using this function you can retrieve the file's last modified date, just like the creation date function. You can specify the format in the bracket. Let me just demo that for you. So we go to the templates folder and create a new note. Remember, templates folder. I'll call it modified date example. The first thing we look for is last modified date. To do that, you just have to put tp.file.last_modified_date. And let me also do one more example. So let's do tp.file.last_modified_date, and let me put the format that I need, because it's not going to give me the format that I want. Let me just add here with format so that we know what to expect. Now let me go back to the templater note, and let's run this and see how this is. So again, I click the template icon, I search for modified date example, select that, and as you can see, it's showing it in the exact format that I wanted. So that's last modified date. Next, we come to the title function. This is actually the most useful function, which allows you to retrieve the file's title. You might be wondering what's so useful about the file's title. Let me show you an example of this. After that, I'll show you some more combined examples, and I'll show you how important this can be. So we right click on templates again, new note. We'll call the new note title example. tp.file.title is all that you have to add. Now let me go back to templater and select the icon again, and then title example, and as you can see, templater is the title that it's showing. Let's try this with books as well. So let me search for title example, and as you can see, books is what it's showing. Again, I'm going to show you a very advanced example of this very shortly. Next is move. This function moves the file to the desired location in the vault. You have to enter the path, including the folder name and the note name in the bracket. Let me quickly demo this. So first, we'll right click on templates, create a new note. We'll call the new note move example. And we put tp.file.move. Demo is the folder I want to put it in, and plus tp.file.title, because I want the title to still be there. Oh wait, let me just rename this to move example. I don't know what's happened there. And let me come back to templater. Now over here, we'll just click the template icon, then select move example from the list. And as you can see, templater is now in demo folder. Let's go back to that example. Demo folder was the folder that we had put earlier. Now, what if you want to put a file in demo2 folder? Very simple. We'll just type demo2 for the next folder as well. And I'll just say tp.file.creation_date, and I'll give it the format that I want. Now I wanted to rename the file to this name, and I want it to be moved to the demo2 folder. So let's go back to the books example and let me try this. I'll click move example, and as you can see, it's gone to demo2 folder, and April 30th 2021 was when this was created. So it's showing April 30th 2021. Next, we come to path. This allows you to retrieve the file's absolute path on the system. There's an option to add true or false in the brackets to only retrieve the vault's relative path. Let me show you what I mean by this. Again, in templates folder, we'll create a new path example. First, I want to show you the basic file path. So that's tp.file.path and brackets. Next, I want to show you file path with relative path. So you'll understand what relative path is easier this way. In that, I'll do tp.file.path and in brackets, I'll just put true. Now, let's go to templater file again. And over here, I'll again click the templater icon and we click path example. And as you can see, the file path is shown clearly over here. And the file path with the relative path is shown here. You can see in relative path, because it's in demo folder only, it is relative to only the vault's location, not the entire location on the system. Let me show you another example. So in books, if you remember, we had I'd shown you the other example as well. Again, I'll come to path example and I'll paste it here. Now, as you can see over here, it shows the entire system path, including demo 2, and over here it will only show the path as in relation to the vault, exactly like it was in the templater file. Let me get rid of the first option for editing sake. Next is rename. It allows you to rename the file, though the extension stays the same. We go back to the templates folder. We create a new note in the templates folder. We call the note rename example. Syntax is tp.file.rename. And inside the brackets, in quotes, you'll put the new name. So I'll put my new name, very original. Now, let's see if this works. Let me first get rid of this for the sake of simplicity. Rename example. And as you can see, the file's name is now my new name. Let's try another example. What if I wanted to keep the name my new name and add the date, today's date to it? So very simple. tp.file.title will grab the title plus tp.file.creation date and the format that I want. So remember, the plus is just adding the name. I'll type rename example again, and as you can see, it's exactly what you wanted. Oops, there's no space in the middle. Okay, that can be very easily remedied. So to do that, let me just add a space in. Let me just add a space in quotes and add the plus sign. And now let's run this. We'll type rename example, and as you can see, the file name was still that. So it's kept that, but it's added a space and added April 30th. Anyways, that's rename. Let's go over the next one. Next is selection. It allows you to retrieve the active notes text selection. I'll be showing the example for this shortly. Then we get to tags, which, as you guessed, allows you to retrieve all the tags in the file. Again, let me show you an example. So we create a new note in the templates folder. We call it tags example. And the syntax for this is tp.file.tags. And let's use this file. So I'll click on the template icon again. I'll put tags example. As you can see, there are two. Why are there two? Because there are two tags. Twice I have put books. So it's picked up tags from both the places. And finally, I'll just show you a few more combined examples where I'll integrate what we had learned in the previous video with this video as well. As we've done till now, we'll right click on the templates folder. We'll name the new note combined example. Now, we want to get the file's title date plus 5 days from it. So the way we'll do this is we'll use tp.date.now, which was there in the first video, and we'll put the format that we want it in, and 5 because it's 5 days ahead. Then we'll put tp.file.title and the format that the title is in. The next thing we'll do is we want minus 5 days from the date of selection. So again, we'll do the same thing, and this time I want to do ddmmyyy as the output. and -5 because it's 5 days before, and tp.file.selection and what the selection format is. Then we'll get the Wednesday from the file's title. To do that, we'll do tp.date.weekday. As you remember, we'll put the format that we need, 2 for Wednesday, and tp.file.title and the format that the title is in. Finally, we'll try and find the next Monday from the file's title date. So to do that, we'll do tp.date.weekday. We'll give the format that we want the output in, 7 for next Monday, and tp.file.title will be the reference date and the format that the date is in. So that's MMMM, DO, and YYYY. Now let's go back to October 3rd, 2020 file, and I'll click on template and I'll add last modified date. Now October 3rd is the last modified date, so let me put the combined example. So I'll again click the template icon and click combined example. Something's off. Oh, the selection doesn't have the brackets. So remember, selection needs to have the brackets. So again, let me select this. Now it'll change it to what I want. So again, we'll click the template icon, and as you can see, when we select combined example, we get October 8th, 2020. That's 5 days ahead of October 3rd. And from the selection, we've got -5 days. That's October 28th, 2020. From the Wednesday from file's title is September 30th, 2020. And finally, next Monday from October 3rd, 2020 is October 5th. If you found this video helpful, then please don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel. And if you'd like, you can find the link to buy me a coffee below. Please do let me know how the new audio setup is. If you have any feedback, suggestions or questions, then please leave those in the comment section below or send me a direct message via Twitter. In the next video, we will cover the front matter, system and web modules, so stay tuned for that. Thank you so much for watching.